The Wrong Side of Midnight, Chronicles of a King by Damien Jenkins. This book is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents are the product of the author's imagination and are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual events, locales, or persons, living or dead, is completely coincidental. Prologue. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. 11:34 p.m. Holman Correctional Facility, Death Row Wing, Atmore, Alabama. Many people, I'm sure, have wondered what it would be like to know the exact day and time they were going to die. But would it even make a difference? Is there anything at all a mere man could do to alter the fate already predestined by God, even before we were conceived in the womb? I guess that's why they say, knowing is half the battle. Well, today is my day. In exactly 26 minutes, the state of Alabama plans to inject a fatal dose of drugs into my veins to execute me for a crime that I honestly had no part in. I fear no man but God, I repeat aloud as they lead me to the execution chambers. I repeat those words as I walk slowly, with my head held high, like the king that I am. "Move it, Mr. King," said one of the guards that surrounded me on what is supposed to be my final walk. It wasn't until they had me strapped down on the table with an IV in my arm that I began to reflect back on my life and the long road that led me to this day. At age 38, I had seen and done more than most people would in 2 lifetimes and lived a life fit for a king. I conquered death twice already and turned a life of hopelessness into one filled with riches, fame, and notoriety. But at that moment, as I looked through the glass at the faces of those waiting to witness my death, none of that was worth anything. With just 10 minutes left and no word on my appeal, the viewing room was packed with people anxious to see me die, some of whom I once considered family. I was all alone on what is supposed to be my last day on earth, and the governor had until midnight to stop my execution. Otherwise, I would be put to death for the murder of my best friend, a man who'd been like a brother to me since the age of 10. As I neared my final minutes, I turned my head to face my accusers with no fear, no remorse, and no regrets. My life, if it ended now, had been all I dreamed and more. At the time of my unfortunate fall, I had reached the height of my career as a world-famous rap star, with millions of fans and followers who still held strong to the hope that I had survived what was being labeled by the media as an attempt to assassinate the king. And as I continued to pray, asking God to forgive me for allowing my pride to cause me to think my success was my own, my eyes came to rest on my biggest accomplishment ever. The 2 kids I had brought into this world, who I knew would carry on my legacy. But before I could dwell on the thought any further, the shrill ringing of a nearby telephone pierced the silence in the small room. It was midnight, straight up, and the injection was supposed to stop the moment the call was answered. It was the moment of truth. This could mean only one of 2 things. Either the governor was signing a last-minute stay of execution, giving me more time to fight for my life, or he was giving the order to continue with my death. So I closed my eyes and continued praying to God, because only he knew and could control what would take place on the other side of midnight.